Hey, what's up you guys? My name's Frankie W and welcome back to my life. So for this week's video, I am ranking every 2024 release that I saw last year. This video is coming out in April, guys. I'm so sorry. It took forever to just have time to do this, and now that it's here, I'm really trying to make talking about movies a thing that I do on my channel. It's just so complicated. Anyway, of the 91 movies I ended up seeing in 2024, not including rewatches, 64 of them were new releases. And I say this very lightly because I've seen The Wild Robot twice, I've seen Monkey Man twice, I've seen The Fall Guy twice, I'm pretty sure I've seen Wicked 5 to 6 times, so there are a lot of 2024 releases or 2024 movies that I just saw more than once. So if we don't include rewatches, that's how we get to 64, and 64 of 94 films is like roughly at like 68%, I think. Guys, I'm not good at math. I created my own tier ranking list machine thingy this year instead of using the app or website that everyone uses, just because there are so many ads popping up on my screen and glitches, and I just don't want to get a virus. So Canva has templates for things like this, so I just made one like that. So we're kind of just gonna go random, and I'm just gonna pick a title and go with it. So one of the first ones I'm seeing right now is I Saw the TV Glow. That's definitely going in the top tier category. I loved I Saw the TV Glow. It is an amazing movie. When I talked about my 2024, every single movie I watched in 2024 video, I mentioned the cast, but I believe one of them now uses different pronouns, so I want to double check that. Jack Haven. Okay, so Jack Haven played Maddie in the movie, and Justice Smith played Owen, and everything about these two characters and what they did, and just it was such a beautiful story, and they did such a beautiful job, and honestly, I want it on DVD, I want it forever. It's such a beautiful movie with trans allegory, queer allegory, but also just like this nostalgia for a time that you no longer have. It's a beautiful movie. It made my heart hurt. Like, the audience was absolutely silent at the end, and I loved it. Next, let's talk about Civil War. I'll put Civil War in I enjoyed. It's not that I hated the movie, not even close, but it just like wasn't my favorite. I have a problem with the ending specifically because the whole point is like the internet's gone and they have to use analog photography. And as someone who shoots on analog cameras sometimes, the amount of quick succession for her to take the photos at the end that are like this big moment wouldn't actually be possible unless she had a point and shoot, but it's fine because she can't like wind that fast. Doesn't matter. Civil War was okay. The girl, Jessie, I don't know, something about her really annoyed me, and that's nothing to do with Kaylee Spaney. I think Kaylee Spaney played the role perfectly. I just personally did not like the character. Next, The Fall Guy. I'll put The Fall Guy in would rewatch. I loved The Fall Guy. It was a great love letter to stunts and stunt coordinators and stunt performers, and it was just a lot of fun to even just work on the campaign. There were so many highlights from that, so very cool movie. I loved Babes. Babes was so good. Talk about another like love letter, but this is a love letter to friendship, a love letter to familial bonds, a love letter to your community and kind of like prioritizing friendship. And yeah, loved Babes. I actually like just the conversation of growing up and growing apart and how you prioritize your friendships is so important to me. So I just really love that. And then next, Shirley. I know the story of Shirley Chisholm. I've always known the story of Shirley Chisholm. So my mom like made it important for me to know that. So I'm going to put that in would rewatch because it was a great movie. And I think the King sisters did their thing, making that story something that now the public knows more about. Because definitely I think people didn't know who Shirley Chisholm was before this year. And now she gets that recognition. Brandy Hellville. I'm going to put that in not for me. I think that, for one, I'm just not someone who ever shopped at Brandy Melville in the first place. And the documentary kind of was multi-toned, where it was trying to talk about fast fashion and the fast fashion industry, but it was also talking about the abuse that the girls in the Brandy Melville company were experiencing, and I kind of didn't, not as egregious as Bama Rush. I feel like that just really didn't know what story it was trying to tell, but I can definitely say that the story that they're trying to talk about in Brandy Melville just wasn't fully fleshed out. So there is that. I'm actually gonna move over so we can put my tier on the screen here instead of like making me a tiny person on the screen. So it's gonna be up here. The next movie we can talk about is Getaway. Oh my gosh, I would put that under, I enjoyed. I feel like I won't put it under would rewatch because the subversion that happens in that movie, like once you know the plot twist, the movie plays differently. And the only reason I actually watched it is because Sebastian Croft is in it and he's in Heartstopper. So I was like, oh my gosh, gotta support my little Heartstopper kids. Let's talk about Craven and the Hunter. What's really funny about Craven and the Hunter is it was so bad, it was so laughably bad that everyone was laughing in the theater, especially because the ADR was really bad. But Aaron Taylor Johnson, I might even just put it in I enjoyed just because it's Aaron Taylor Johnson. And the thing is, like, I was really excited for the movie. I should be honest, it's an movie, but I hearted it because it was so campy. I loved it. And even them trying to introduce Calypso with Ariana DeBose, like, it just didn't nothing was right about that movie. Except the only interesting part about that movie is the brother. But Aaron Taylor Johnson does his thing. The Man in the White Van, I'm gonna put under not for me because I know that it's based off of a true story, so I don't want to give it too much hate, but the ending and also just how unbelievably rude her family were just was taking me out of it. This is another movie I watched because of the actors, because Brooke Bassinger is in it. And Brooke Bassinger is going to be in Final Destination Bloodlines. And so I'm ready for the Nick and Disney kids that I grew up with to have their like resurgence, like Olivia Holt was just in Hard Eyes. So I'm here and I'm sat. So I'll watch anything that they're in. Sky Jackson is also in this, but I'll watch anything that they're in, but it wasn't good. I mean, it was okay. But the killer doing like a Michael Myers disappearance at the end was just absolutely insane. The Beekeeper, oh my goodness. Actually, today I'm going to see A Working Man, which is by the same director, so I'm really excited for this. I would rewatch The Beekeeper. It was so funny, and it's like Jason Statham being like, the most disrespected people in America are the elderly, and it's peak. It's so peak comedy at point. Oh, A Nonsense Christmas by Sabrina Carpenter. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even like Christmas all that much, but I would watch that every Christmas. Sabrina Carpenter has given me a new tradition, if you would say, you know, like I'll watch it every year. I have some questions for, I think it's Shania Twain's rendition of a song, but besides that, really good, really good. Back to Black. I enjoyed Lisa Frankenstein. I thought it was a little crazy and I wasn't expecting the level of camp that it had. So when it came to that, I was unprepared, but I did love it. And so I would put it I enjoyed. Maybe actually I'll move it to would rewatch because I'd watch it every year for Halloween or like for Summerween type vibes. Yeah. Oh, let's get another top tier ranking. This is the Haikyuu movie that came out, and anytime an anime movie is going to be in theaters, I'm probably going to rank it the highest. I love Haikyuu. This is basically the first part of a 2-part movie series because the Haikyuu TV show was like 4 seasons. The 3rd season was the shortest. The 4th season changed animation styles because it was too expensive. And basically they're like, hey girl, you're not getting a 5th season. Actually, we're gonna give you 2 movies, and the movies are in the old animation style. So, yay, I guess, because I get to finish the series, but also damn, like it took this long. Really good, really good. Also, I'm not explaining a lot of these movies because one, I talk about a lot of these movies in my Everything I Watch in 2024 videos. Part 1 and Part 2 are linked above and below. And if I were to talk in detail about any of these movies, I feel like I'd give away the entire movie. So I think we're good here. I think we're good. Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness. I will put under I enjoyed. I know that people are really, really trying to have like a slasher movie for our generation. And I get that people are like, that was gonna be Thanksgiving. And then because Spyglass sucks and fired Melissa Barrera unjustly, people boycotted them. And that's why Thanksgiving didn't do well until it got added to Netflix. Also, the Milo Manhan girlies were eating it up, you know, because then School Spirits was also trending. The villain of this movie is slightly unbelievable. And whenever villain reveals have just gotten shitty, guys. Like, I'm gonna be so honest with you, especially since I just, like, not recently, but since I saw Hard Eyes this year, and we're in 2025, and I can talk about other horror movies that have come out. The Hard Eyes villain reveal is, like, what makes that movie not my favorite. Like, I would have given Hard Eyes 5 stars if the villain reveal wasn't trash, you know? So I feel like we've gone to the pits with villain reveals, and because of that, I am ranking it really low. Well, not low, it's still in the middle, but like, you know what I mean? Like, Thanksgiving could be so much higher if the villain reveal wasn't what it was, you know? Okay, anyway, let's do Ordinary Angels. Ordinary Angels is a movie about a woman who finds out this family down on their luck, and she raises money and fundraise with the community to help this little girl get a surgery. And yes, there are religion ties to it because the family that it's based on is religious. So we're not gonna debate on whether religion should be in movies or not, because I think if it serves the story, then leave them the fuck alone. But I absolutely loved it. I was in a theater by myself, so I know nobody watched it because I was in a theater alone, and I cried and I loved it. So yay for that one. I don't know where to put concert videos and concert movies. I have one more, and it's the Blackpink one. I'm actually gonna put it at the top. I don't know where. I ranked NCT's high last year just because I was joking, but like, to be honest with you, I think it's so silly to rank concert movies because it's just going to a concert for people who couldn't afford it. So I'm putting Suga August D-Day, and I'm putting Blackpink's Born Pink at the top. And when we finish, I'll add a new category called Not Rated, and it'll be for the things that I just think are silly to rate. Long Legs. Oh my goodness, guys. I will just put it under I enjoyed because when I watched it, Long Legs was terrifying. It was scary. It was spooky. I drank the Kool-Aid and I was in the suspense for that movie. And then I thought about it just like a second more. It's not as scary. It's not as scary when you think about it. Some of the techniques that were made for the movie, like, they don't actually work. Yeah, if you think about the movie for more than 1 second, it doesn't work as well. So for the time that I had, it gets I enjoyed, but I don't think I would rewatch it. Not at all. We're just gonna put that there and we're not even gonna talk about it. Like, I feel like I have so many things to say. And my mom once told me, if you have nothing nice to say, say nothing at all. So I'm gonna just say nothing. Oh, this is another I enjoyed. Some people who probably have seen The Front Room, like, now would be like, ew, why would you put it there? But I saw The Front Room. I saw The Front Room at the premiere, actually. I don't know how I ended up at the premiere for The Front Room. Shout out Girl Wonder. Thank you, Tola. But basically, I ended up at the premiere for The Front Room, and I was sitting around so many Black people. And that definitely played a part in how I reacted to the movie, because there's this one point where the old grandma, the mother-in-law, basically, what's her name? Solange. Solange. Which also, the white woman being named Solange took me out, but there is this moment where Solange is getting bathed in the bathtub by Brandy's character, and the Black guy that was sitting either like 1 row or 2 rows behind me, he was like, "You're telling me this bitch is bald torturing people?" And I actually laughed so fucking hard. I laughed so fucking hard, and it's actually one of the most visceral movie experiences I've had. And I will say, I'll talk about The Substance next if I can find it, but because I watched The Front Room before I watched The Substance was nothing to me, because The Front Room has piss, vomit, and blood. Girl, by the time I watched The Substance, I was like, nothing is new here, I'm good, you know, because people were saying that they couldn't eat while watching The Substance, and I was like, no, that was me during The Front Room. You don't know my pain. Like, I was grossed out. I'm looking for The Substance so we can talk about it next, but girl, there are so many movie posters down here. Let's get some more out. Watchers. I would put The Watchers in a lower category than because it was literally so bad, girl. It was so bad. It was so bad. Furiosa Mad Max Saga. Never watched Mad Max. My first intro to that world is Furiosa, and it was so good. Like, Anya Taylor-Joy ate that up. Would rewatch. Was a good one. Was a really good one. Challengers. Ooh, going top tier. Love a throuple. Things would have been so much easier if we were polyamorous, you know? Like, anyway, the music was amazing. I loved the vibes of it all. It was just so intense, and I think I'm becoming a Luca Guadagnino fan. I think this was my first Luca Guadagnino movie, and it made me just want to watch more. I will say the reason I maybe gave it 4.5 instead of 5 was the sound design, because there were parts where I couldn't hear what the they were saying, and I was like, yo, what is happening? But I do understand that maybe sometimes it didn't matter what they were saying, it was more about the vibe, but I care about what they were saying, so it doesn't work for me, but I get it. Ooh, Tarot. I'm gonna put Tarot and I enjoyed, because the concept itself is very interesting. However, I think I personally, because sometimes I talk about how I rate movies, and it's because I don't get scared, I guess. So when it comes to Tarot, the monster designs were really cool, but they weren't scary, but it was a unique concept. Ooh, Abigail. I'm gonna put under would rewatch. I know some people are upset that Abigail got revealed to be a vampire in the trailer, and they wish that the reveal happened in theaters. I do think that would have changed a lot of the marketing for the movie in a really interesting way, but I still loved it. We have Melissa Barrera, we have Catherine Newton, we have Miss Alicia Ware, Miss Matilda the musical herself. Like, I love the women of this movie. Also, I didn't realize, because he looks completely different in this movie, that I love Dan Stevens. I watched Abigail, then I watched Cuckoo, and I also watched Godzilla, Kong, The New Empire. Those are 3 Dan Stevens movies this year, and I swear to God, I thought I'd never heard of this man before. And you're telling me he's the Beast?
What? What is it?
How would you feel about growing a beard?
He is the Beast. He's also in The Night at the Museum. But, like, he's the Beast. He's the Beast, the beauty. Oh my God. This one, he's a dick. He's a dick in Abigail. But in Godzilla and King Kong, I was in love with him. So we're gonna put Godzilla and King Kong and also with rewatch. And the rewatch is for Dan Stevens. Doing another monkey movie, we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which I would put, honestly, shockingly, I would put in would rewatch. This, unfortunately, has made me want to rewatch the first Planet of the Apes trilogy before this new trilogy starts, and I think everyone else agrees, because I feel like it was popping on Letterboxd for a minute, which is so interesting to me how that happens, because one moment, like, I watched the Planet of the Apes movies and I think they were really impressive, but I don't think I was like a fan. This movie made me a fan. Similarly, Alien Romulus made me a fan of the Alien franchise, and now I have to watch all of it. So I'm gonna put Alien Romulus at the top. Shout out to David Johnson for acting his ass off and playing 2 very different characters. Shout out Kaylee Spaney, who is our new lead, but also then shout out our own Isabella Merced, who had to go through the pregnancy. Can we talk about that for a second? Okay, guys, apparently I have to fact check this, but apparently people are saying that their cousin, like, because Isabella Merced's character Kay and Archie's character Tyler are brother and sister, and Bjorn, who played by Spike, is their cousin. Apparently, oh my god, Bjorn's in the Back to Black movie? What the Anyway, sorry. Anyway, Bjorn is their cousin. And the streets are saying that Bjorn is the baby daddy for Kay. Are we being dead? Because that's really nasty. That's like really nasty, guys. I was watching one of those Alien Romulus like breakdown videos, and they're like, that's why the baby looks like that. What? That's so vile. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, next movie, let's talk about Twisters. I feel like I talk about Twisters a lot. Really good movie, really enjoyed it. I would put it, would rewatch, or like one of my favorites of the year. One of my favorites of the year. I really liked it. Bro, the first time I watched it, the beginning is so jarring and shocking, because I remember looking up on IMDb who's in the cast, and I was like, oh my god, no way. X and X are in this movie? When? They're in the beginning. And they die a very violent death. Everyone dies, guys. Stakes in a movie, you know? It's like in Scream when everyone was like, oh my god, Drew Barrymore's in it, and then she died. It's like that. Mean Girls, I'll put in Mean Girls under I enjoyed, because for what it is, it's really just a rushed SparkNotes version of the other movie and a SparkNotes version of the musical, but I did have a little bit of a fun time. I'm sorry to Angourie Rice. She can't sing as well as the rest of the cast, so she does get a lot of from the public. Also, Renee Rapp is probably the reason I watched it. And then also, Kyle Hanagami's choreography was so good. And Jaquel and Avantika made me laugh so much. But like, Renee and Alui Carvalho are the only reasons I went to see that movie. And they're the main people on the soundtrack. So I think that makes sense. Also, I just want to say, for whoever decided to make this album, it is an actual crime that you cut out the beginning of Avantika talking for the like Halloween one, where she's like, oh, let me start over, and then you start the song. Rude. I want the whole part, like the words included. Like, that's me with, it's so funny because I feel like so strongly about that for specific movies, because like me with Wicked, I was like so sad I couldn't hear the actual foot stomps in No One Mourns the Wicked, or the little utensils in Loathing, like things like that. I need it. Or like in Julie and the Phantoms, like Luke's guitar riff isn't in the recording, and it's like, you either release both versions or you release the right version. Robot Dreams at the top, one of the best movies I saw last year. So good, cried a lot, beautiful. Inside Out, I'm gonna put under not for me. I get, like, it was good for what it was, but like as a sequel to a really impactful and inspiring movie, it just like didn't do for me as much as it seemed to do for others. Like, there were people like sobbing in the theater, and I thought, like, am I a heartless because like, why did that not happen to me, you know? Trap. I feel like Trap was also so bad, but I'm gonna put an I enjoyed, like, even though I rated it so low and it's so bad, it's funny. Like, it's giving camp. It was giving camp, and it was so bad, but it was so funny. Ultraman Rising. I'm gonna put Ultraman Rising in, I'm actually gonna put it at the top. I loved that movie. It definitely made me want to watch the Ultraman show, so that's good. And yeah, I don't know. I absolutely loved it. Deadpool and Wolverine, I'll put in a would rewatch, because it's just a movie with fan service. Like, let's be so real. I don't think it has any ties to that. Well, not anymore. Everyone was like, it's not gonna have any ties to the MCU, and now Channing Tatum may be in the MCU, guys. Like, that's so funny. Atlas, we're gonna put Atlas in the... My mom really liked it, so I'm gonna put it in not for me, but I would put it in But Sterling K. Brown, and Sterling K. Brown is probably the best part of that movie. Yeah. Yeah. Y2K, I'm gonna put under would rewatch. It is campy and it's not serious, and I loved it. Under Paris, I'm gonna put under not for me. I did not like that movie at all. But apparently some really important directors think it was really good, so I guess I just don't know taste. Sakura and the Kingdom of the Winds, I'm gonna put under would rewatch. It's so good. Loved it. It's such a cute story of sisterhood and family. Quiet Place Day 1, I would put under would rewatch. The ending I get that the ending is supposed to be super symbolic. I hated the ending. Maxine, I'm gonna go under I enjoyed. X is still my favorite of the trilogy. Dee Dee, I'm going to put Dee Dee in. Guys, oh my god, I'm almost full of the would rewatches. Ooh. I found the substance. Monkey Man, that's going top tier. Loved it. Sing Sing. Beautiful movie. Coleman Domingo did his thing. Ugh. Oh, Blink Twice, also gonna put up there. As you can see, we're getting a little full here when it comes to all of the other titles, so I think I'm gonna speed do this and then talk about some of the last ones in a second. So let me just lock in. Not my best work, but under pressure, I think I did a pretty good job. We're gonna tidy everything up. Heretic, oh my gosh, I'll put under not for me. Watching it, I think because I watched the trailer, my expectations for the movie were completely different, and then actually seeing it and seeing what it was, it's not bad at all, but it just like wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting mazes and traps and questions of morality, and really it was just like a singular question of religion that gets continuously repeated, and yeah, not what I was expecting. Frozen Empire, I'm gonna put under I enjoyed. I love it. We have a new Ghostbusters crew, and it's so funny that it's like McKenna Grace and Finn Wolfhard, because like, when are they not on my screen? Wicked. We're putting Wicked right up where she belongs. No one mourns the wicked. Okay. Oh my gosh, are we almost done? Yes? Okay. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The last 8, I think. Moana 2, I'm going to put under because it could have been a series. Unfortunately, it didn't feel like a full movie. There was like there wasn't really a villain, there wasn't really a conflict. The ending's cool, and I love the song Beyond, but besides that, it didn't feel like a fully fleshed out movie. Versus like Inside Out 2, I didn't like it, but it was still like a full plot. Cuckoo, I'm gonna put under I enjoyed, because honestly I still don't know how I'm supposed to feel after watching it. What an insane movie. That's Dan Stevens' movie number 3. Something that's really interesting about it is I still don't know what I watched or how I'm supposed to feel or like what, because it was so unique and different that I was like, I have no clue how I'm supposed to feel right now. And I left the theater like shocked, you know? And so It just, wow. So really, really cool. Really good job. Ooh, national anthem. We're putting that right up top. So good. So amazing. Such a beautiful queer story. Just like I Saw the TV Glow. Another beautiful coming of age queer story. Oh my goodness. Charlie Plummer. Guys, again, I'm filming this in April. / it's going out in April. So I know that there have been a couple things where like Charlie Plummer is in talk to be young Haymitch. One, if that happens, I will be literally feral. Two, I'm gonna be so sad because everyone's gonna know about him. I love him and I want to keep him to myself. I'm kidding. I hope he gets it. He would be an amazing Haymitch. Oh my god! And it's so funny. Someone was like, "Oh, he's definitely too old to play Haymitch." Girl, was Jennifer Lawrence the right age? Like, it's called acting, babe. Like, unfortunately, we never hire people the correct age. Like, hate to tell you, a lot of the high schoolers you see in high school are 27, and I get it. You're like, why don't we hire actual high schoolers? Well, because of labor laws, because of the exploitation of children, and because if you hire actual children, you can't make it look hot. Sorry. The Wild Robot, we're putting that at the top as well. Beautiful movie, beautiful story. Because I read the book, I watched the movie and I loved it. What? Because I watched the movie, I read the book and I loved it. That's what I meant to say. And then, Late Night with the Devil, I'm gonna put under would rewatch. I realized that it didn't do as well as it should have because of the whole AI conversation that it started, and I am against using AI for artwork. I am not pro AI. I do want to say that. And seeing the movie doesn't make me pro AI because I didn't know about the AI when I saw it, and then after finding out where it's used, I was like, well, it looks shitty. You could have just hired an artist. And I will say that it was a real indie movie. Like, the amount of title sequences we got, you know how many people put money into this movie for it to be made. So I'm real into supporting indie and like smaller budget films, but at the same time, they could have just hired a graphic designer. like they could have, yeah. The debate is valid because girl, it was not that serious to use AI for that, like, and it doesn't even look right. Megan Thee Stallion's doc, I'm gonna put under I enjoyed. I don't know if I could rewatch it because I think when I put things in rewatching, I'm talking about bingeable content. Megan Thee Stallion's doc is so serious that I would never like play in her face like that and just like put it on in the background for some reason. Like, that was an important story that she needed to tell, and I was with her the whole time, so I'm not the audience that needs to be rewatching it, because I'm not an idiot. And then The Killer, I'm going to put The Killer under I enjoyed as well. I saw it at the premiere, so I will say, if my opinion on this movie is higher than others, it was audience skewed, because I saw it in the audience with Natalie Emmanuel and Omar Sy, and I think they're beautiful people. And then Skincare. Skincare when I want, girl, yeah. I'm gonna put a not for me because I love Elizabeth Banks and I love to see a woman do great things. This movie is so silly, especially because like the guy in it very obviously is the one like causing problems for her, and she's just like not figuring that out, and it pissed me off because I was like, come on, girl, be smart, be smart. Obviously, the person torturing you is the person who you just met and has your phone, babe. This is officially the end of my 2024 releases ranked. For the bottom category, we have Craven the Hunter, Back to Black, The American Society of Magical Negroes, Time Cut, Watchers, and Moana 2. For Not For Me, I have Brandy Hellville, The Man in the White Van, Inside Out 2, Atlas, Under Paris, Heretic, and Skincare. For I Enjoyed, I have Civil War, Getaway, Thanksgiving, Long Legs, The Front Room, Tarot, Mean Girls, Trap, Kung Fu Panda 4, Maxine, Despicable Me 4, Crisis of Infinite Earths Part 2, Ghostbusters and the Frozen Empire, Cuckoo, Megan Thee Stallion in Her Words, and The Killer. And then for would rewatch, I have The Fall Guy, Babes, Shirley, The Beekeeper, A Nonsense Christmas, Lisa Frankenstein, Furiosa, A Mad Max Saga, Abigail, Godzilla and King Kong, The New Empire, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Deadpool and Wolverine, Y2K, Socorro and the Kingdom of Winds, A Quiet Place Day 1, Dee Dee, The Substance, Beetlejuice, Strange Darling, The Crisis of Infinite Earths Part 1, and Late Night with the Devil. Jesus. I literally didn't take a breath there. And then I took my favorite movies and put them on a separate slide so I could actually rate them. And so my ranking of 2024, my favorite movies of the entire year, this is my top 14, which is really, really, really unbelievable that I only had 14 favorites this year. I have Wicked, I Saw the TV Glow, Alien Romulus, Robot Dreams, National Anthem, Monkey Man, The Wild Robot, Challengers, Haikyuu, The Dumpster Battle, Sing Sing, Blink Twice, Ultraman Rising, Ordinary Angels, and Twisters. So something that I just want to say about this ranking and this specific selections of my favorite movies is that this is not saying that one of these is better than the other. These are my favorites not just because of like filmmaking, characters, story, but also how they make me feel and just like what they represent. I have 2 animated movies about robots. And oh, I will say Robot Dreams released in 2023, but it released theatrically in 2024, and that's why it's on here. I Saw the TV Glow and National Anthem are 2 queer coming of age stories. We have technically 2 movies about throuples, because you could say Challengers and Wicked are throuple or love triangle situations. I loved these specific movies. These are my favorite movies of the year, and in total, this is my 2024 film releases. And in total, this is my 2024 film releases ranked. As I said, I'm not ranking the concert movies I saw this year, so that's why August D and Blackpink Born Pink are at the top corner. But this is my 2024 releases ranked. Feel free to tell me what your favorite movie of the year was down below. I know this video is coming out in April, and a lot of you are gonna be like, why are you posting nobody's watching your movie videos? But I'm going to continue to post videos about movies if and even if no one watches them, because I love going to the movies and I love talking about movies. And I need to get back on my movie game, guys. I haven't seen a movie in a really long time. So I'm actually gonna run and go watch A Working Man. See ya.